Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you doing today? I'm Ryan Newple, the host of the Noob Sports Show. We are on episode number 131 of this show. Crazy how time flies, and we just continue on churning out shows one after another. If you don't know anything about the show, we love to have people in the sports business area, in the sports betting, the iGaming business area, and we have another guest on our show today. We have Rob Shannon of RPM Advertising with us. Rob, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me on, Ryan. Good to be here.
Absolutely. Hope you're doing well today. How is everything up in the greater Chicago area? Treating you well?
A little wet, but we're okay. It's going good. The Cubs are kind of on a losing streak right now, so yeah.
Hey, you said you weren't going to say any curse words on the show. That's a curse word in my book. I'm a Cardinal fan. You can't say the word Cubs on the Noob Sports Show.
Noted.
Yeah, no, I'm grew up in that area, so a big Cardinals fan, and I know I went to school up in Chicago, so it was like this battle, Cub fans, Cardinal fans, and it's quite the rivalry there.
Yes, it is, very much so. Yeah, I learned that. I came from Southern California, still a Dodger fan, so that weekend series was okay with me.
Awesome. Well, amazing. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. I'd love to hear your backstory and kind of how you got to where you are today, and just hear a little bit more about yourself. So tell me a little bit about yourself, your career path, and where you're at today.
Okay. I'm a writer at RPM Advertising here in Chicago. Been with them about 16 years. We specialize in casino work. That's one of our strong suits, and it's always something we like to go out to new clients. It's like, hey, we know your business. You don't have to hold our hand at all. Prior to that, roundabout way, I was working in the marketing department for Horseshoe Gaming in their corporate office for a few years. And that was prior to the sale of Harrah's, which is now Caesars. And then I jumped from the client side over to the agency side and been here ever since.
Awesome. That's crazy. It's crazy how time flies, right?
Yeah.
So explain a little bit more about RPM Advertising and the company itself. And I guess more specifically, what you're doing in the iGaming space, because that's what we love to talk about here, more of the betting and the iGaming space. Yeah. So how did the company get involved in that and yourself as well?
Okay. Well, we, like I said, we've been working with casino clients for about 20 years now, mostly in local markets. I think in my time, we've had maybe one Nevada-based casino with a very small sports book. So we never really had to talk about sports betting or anything like that. That all changed, as we all know, 3 years ago when PASPA went away, and we knew we had to get up to speed for our clients, for our future clients. We have to know this space. So we dived into it. And, there's been a lot of knowledge sharing within the casino or within our agency. And yeah, we know it. So, you can talk to maybe some random people, even in the casinos. If you say money line and minus 230 and all that stuff, they're like, what? But we got it. I mean, we know this stuff. And so no one is going to have to hold our hands. And that's always been a big, strong selling point for us. So, And
it's crazy, I always find it kind of mind baffling, but I mean, I've been in the gaming industry for 20 years. So a lot of that stuff comes second nature to me, right? Money line and parlays and talking about how spreads work and how odds work and lines work. And all of that is very second nature to me. But I do remember a point back in my life that I was trying to learn all of that. And there is a learning curve to understanding the sports betting landscape and the talk and how it works. And okay, well, wait. Oh, there's juice on that bet. What's juice? Oh, I'm paying. Oh, I am actually paying if I lose and things like that. So there is a learning curve to the industry.
Yeah, you're paying for the service for sure. Yeah. It's weird. I don't know when it was, but when I finally figured out what plus 110 was, like, oh, well, the light dawned, and okay, let's move forward with this. So, it's weird. And then even as we're going into newer markets, whether it's Colorado or Michigan, we've got a client down in Arizona. They're going to be launching by football season. If you're talking to a bettor who's been working with his bookie for several years, there's a whole new world with betting on your phone, on your app, or coming in the sports book. In-game betting is a game changer. We know that. Sure. You know that. Everybody probably listening here knows that. But if you haven't experienced that before, that's new. Odds boost and profit boost and all that stuff that your bookie cannot offer those things. But the new sports books in 2021 can definitely offer those things. And that's a new thing. And that's going to be as we talk to more and more players with our clients, that's going to be something, there's a lot of education to go with that.
Yeah, and you're a content guy, we're content people. I'm a content guy through and through. And when you think live betting and you think how that works from a content perspective, it's very challenging. I mean, the content around the live betting space is so challenging simply because it moves so fast. It moves so fast. You don't have time to breathe and keep up from a content perspective. So, that's something that's always a challenge, always something to keep in mind, when you're dealing with live content or live betting content that I'm sure you guys are as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, it's a whole different thing. And again, if you've been betting for all your life, this is definitely a new thing. So there's even some education for that.
Yeah, sure. So let's move a little bit beyond the content side. I'm curious, so RPM advertising, I'm curious what types of advertising or how are these sports books starting to, I guess, mix other types of advertising into the fold, right? What types of things could they be doing that they're not, or are they starting to do to really get their name out? Because let's just face it, these sports books are all competing with each other. All these companies are competing to get eyeballs on their product. And I'm assuming that's one of the things you guys help address. Tell us a little bit about some things that you guys offer that may be able to help them in that way.
For sure. We look at it. We've worked with a number of casinos in the past that, based on jurisdictions, only had slot machines. And then the state changes the regulations. Hey, let's bring in table games. Well, that's a whole new market, and that's a whole different kind of player. So we've got to educate. We've got to build awareness that table games are coming or table games are here. And now we've got to educate a little bit. It's the same with the sports book. Okay. So we've got all this wonderful stuff for you, Mr. or Miss Player. Now we've got this new thing. So how do we attract those new players? How do we increase play? That's always a big thing with the casinos. How do we increase play? Sure. So there's a lot of crossover from tables, which tends to skew male, to the sports betting. But how do we grab that slot player? How do we, so we try to localize it. That's a big thing. So it's smart when I see the sports book doing local promotions. We've got PointsBet here at Hawthorne Racecourse, just outside of Midway Airport there. And they've got Devin Hester on as their spokesperson. And they do a lot of Bears promos and Bulls promos. And those are really no-brainer stuff. This is a passionate fan base, but there's passionate fan bases everywhere. So it's like, hey, we've got this special Lions promotion today. We've got this special Dodgers promotion today. You can tie it in there. You can make it your sports book, your casino, no matter whose brand is on there. Because we've seen a lot of that with FanDuel. They're all over the place. They're on any number of just random casinos that you've never heard of. Yeah. But you still want to talk about to the players, the potential players, this is your sports book. We have things just for you. So we've run into that over the years with, we like to think of, every casino likes to think, well, our players are really loyal. But we know that's not necessarily true. They've got a Players Club card from this casino and that casino. And they're going to chase points on that day. And then they're going to chase the free buffet on that day. And it's the same with the sports book. I've got 5 apps on my phone. And the only reason I don't have 6 is because Illinois changed the regulations again for in-person sign-up. So to get the 6, I got to drive down to Aurora. So,
hey, I'm not gonna feel bad for you. Guess how many I have here in Florida?
I
got 0. I got 0 here in Florida. So but when I do come back to Illinois, I do the same thing. I have all the apps, and there's something to be said about those local promotions, just drawing people in. I mean, it's to really capture the attention and get you feeling a bit loyal to that sports book. But man, on that same note, some of the offers we're seeing from some of these sports books in a local market and things of that nature are really truly like no-brainers to take advantage of. I mean, they're giving away massive amounts of money, or not even that. Like, even if they're not saying we're giving you money, some of the lines they're giving are like giving you money, basically,
I've seen it from at least a couple of the books when they said, hey, let's take this NBA game tonight. The more you bet the over, the lower the total goes. And so the total goes down to 1 in an NBA game. Thank you for the $20.
Thank you. Exactly. I mean, we're all going to look back at this. I just say it because we're going to look back at this in 5-10 years and we're going to think, man, that was the heyday. Look, we should have taken more advantage of that. And I don't want to say take advantage in a bad way, but right now is a prime time to learn about all these sports books, to take advantage of what they're offering, and really, you know, they're giving you money to try out their sports book, and you guys are helping them through some of that as well.
Yeah.
But take advantage of that from a consumer side, because guess what? In 5-10 years, that will not be here. It'll not be the case.
No, again, I go back to what we've learned over the years. When a new casino pops up in the market, they start flooding the market with free play. Come play our slots. Here's money. So you get them into your casino, and it's the same thing going on with the books. Here's, you know, $100 or a $500 sign up bonus. Come play with us. Get used to our app. Get used to how we communicate and all the notifications and all the promos. It's the same thing. So we've seen it's very parallel to what we've been doing for the last 20 years.
So since you're pretty close to Illinois, I'm going to go a little different angle here. You know me, I like to go off the cuff a little bit. So, I mean, you're in Illinois, you're very close to that situation and what's going on in Illinois. I'm curious how it's going from your perspective in Illinois, because I've heard mixed, you know, reviews of how some of the operators are doing, maybe how some of the things are working. How is it going in general, the legalization of sports betting from a very high level in your perspective there in Illinois?
I think it's been going great. The big thing was they were going to require in-person registration.
Yep.
And that's a big hurdle, because I think there's 9 casinos in the state. So if you're down in Springfield in the center of the state, you probably got to drive 2 hours just so you can bet games. It's like, well, that's crazy. The one thing that came out of the pandemic from last year is they eased the restrictions. So as soon as they did that, boom, I think it was Rivers out by O'Hare was the first one to do it. And then DraftKings with Casino Queen, and PointsBet at Hawthorne, and FanDuel, I forget who they're partnered with. But that they just made it easy. And there was a sign-up bonus for each one. And like I said, with Barstool, they're partnered with Hollywood down in Aurora. I think they went live just as the window was closing on mobile registration. So
they kind of got screwed there.
How much money are they missing out on? So it's only those people in Aurora that are going to be able to bet through them. You know, if you're down in Alton at the other end of the state, you're not driving to Aurora to bet. You're not driving anywhere.
But I think that's where I was kind of heading with the question, right? I mean, I think, you know, during the pandemic, that was all great. But now that there is not mobile signups there in Illinois, it makes it so hard. Isn't the state really losing out on revenue opportunity? And why are they going that direction? Is it simply to keep the physical casinos happy and well and healthy because they have to visit those? What's the objective there? I mean,
perhaps. I mean, if, Governor Pritzker, if you're listening, please get rid of that rule. You know, it's money on the table. I mean, we've heard stories from New York for how many years there was no mobile wagering. So all of Manhattan was taking the train to New Jersey, placing their bets.
Yeah,
and that's just money leaving your state. It's just money on the table, and there's no good reason to do it.
Well,
so I think it's in baby steps. People want to be like, well, we got to be careful with this stuff.
I mean, I found it very interesting because I visited the Casino Queen, the FanDuel Sportsbook there in East Peoria. It's at the Paradise Casino in East
Paradise,
Peoria.
That's who it is, yes.
Yeah, the Paradise. I said Casino Queen, but yes, Paradise. And I thought, oh, hey, I'll be able to go in and sign up physically for FanDuel and bet. And I get in there and they're like, oh, no, you can only sign up physically at this one select place up 2 hours away. And I'm like, okay, so I can't sign up mobilely. I can't sign up at this casino. I have to drive up. Nobody's going to do that. No. Like, you're only going to do that if you happen to be up in that area or in that area. And I talked to some people at that sports book, and they were just like, yeah, I know it really is hurting us from a sports betting side because people can't bet. Like, they can bet at the kiosk. Like, you could bet at their little stand, but you can't sign up for the mobile side unless you are physically at the one location. So it seems silly to me. We'll get off that bandwagon, but that's something that that's something it really bugs me. I hope Florida doesn't do it that way when we legalize.
Are you going to get it soon? Is that coming up? Or are they?
Man, it's being rumored. I mean, we've passed a few hurdles. So I think we're through the House, through the Senate. Now it's into some next level, right? I'm not a very legalistic guy in my head, but it's like there's all these different approval levels it has to go through. So we're through a couple hurdles now. You know, there's still some things that could go wrong with it, but yeah, I think we're I would say on the way. So I'm praying that no hurdles kind of get in the way as we get going here.
Yeah.
So cool. So what else? So tell me. I know I don't want to keep you all day. I want to keep this kind of short and sweet. But what else? What else you want to talk about? I mean, what else is going on with RPM advertising? Where are you guys headed? What's the future look like? Anything coming up that you guys have going on?
It was with the pandemic. Everybody took a hit, and we had to slow down a little bit. But we've gotten since the end of last year, I think 3 new clients. We've got our current clients they're back to full capacity and up and running. We've got clients in Michigan who are getting ready to launch iGaming and sports betting. Like I said, out in Arizona, ready to launch sports betting. So yeah, it's an exciting time for us. And it really is just something that we know how to do, and we can, we know your business. And so all we need to do is the chance to get to know your market. And that's what we do. We build brands.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. And I know how challenging that can be from an advertiser or from an agency perspective, from one agency to another. I understand the difficulties it is to just understand the business, right? I mean, that's the number one thing you have to be able to do is understand what your clients do, how to talk to the people they're serving, and how to help them. So for sure. It sounds like you guys are doing it the right way. So tell the audience a little bit. I mean, if somebody's listening that may want to get a hold of you guys or may want to contact you guys, how are they going to contact you? We're also going to put it across the bottom. Okay. How would they contact you guys?
Our website is rpmadv, like advertising.com. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. We're there. Like I said, we know your game, and you don't have to hold our hands. And that's always been a good selling point for us. And So you please find us on social, say hello, check out our work. We'd be happy to talk.
Awesome, Rob. Well, I really appreciate you joining, and I really think you brought some insight to this industry, especially in Illinois as well. And I know from following some of the stuff you do, one of the good guys in the industry. So I really appreciate some of the time you're giving me here.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be on.
All right. That was Rob Shannon, RPM Advertising. Hey, thank you all for listening. This was episode 131 of this show. Really appreciate all the time you guys are giving to this and really the focus you're giving to this show. If you do want to join and you want to be on and you want to talk like we did with Rob there, please just get a hold of me. I'm on LinkedIn. You can shoot a message, Ryan@noobsolutions.com. Anything, you'll be able to find me there. So really appreciate it. Until next time, stay safe. Everybody take care. Have a great one. Bye-bye.